Why are we home? I actually wanted to come home in an ambulance. The security guard grabbed my friend, yanked her up, and I just see throw up all over her jacket, all over the seat. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing yet another story time. I hope that you guys enjoy these as much as I like telling them, but they're fun for me because I've had some crazy stories or I've been near people when these crazy stories have happened. But let's get into it. December 2018, I went to London, England. I went alone to visit a friend and family friend. I was super excited. This is my first time seeing her since college, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a good time. This is my first adult trip. Let's get into it. I arrived, I think, like on a Saturday, and it was very fast-paced, hit the ground running once I arrived there. We got there, her and her dad picked me up from the airport. We got to her house like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. I kid you not, as soon as we got to the house, we were already getting ready to go out. I just flew from California, so it's like, I think a 10, 11 hour flight, direct flight. So I'm already confused on the time, so in my head it's mentally still like morning or something in California, and I'm arriving and it's evening. I've flown for about 10 hours, and I'm already like, okay, hey, let's get ready to go out and go to a club, go out to a bar. She doesn't actually live in London, she lives on the outskirts of it, so we had to actually like get public transportation to get there in the first place. I remember her ordering an Uber, and when we arrive at this like male entertainment club, and I'm instantly like, girl, like where are we? And it's like free drinks. We probably had like one or two, and then I see male strippers on the stage. And they are just dancing and stripping and twerking. I said, okay, this is a very fresh, really fast-paced start to the trip, but I'm for it. And then I think at that point, we're like, okay, like this is enough like entertainment. We want to actually like go out and enjoy ourselves. We took the tube. I've never taken the tube. It's like the train subway kind of thing over in England. There was a lot of switchovers, I don't know how to call it there and here, like layovers, or we got off, got on, switched on something. So we switched like more than once. So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to remember this coming back. Just remember that. From that point, we're walking around, and it's just people everywhere, and I'm lost because this is my first time as an adult going to London. And she's like, oh wait, no, we need to go to like I don't know what she called, like a corner shop to get like alcohol or something. And I'm like, okay, like again, like I'm the visitor, I'm going for everything, she's hosting me, so I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do, mostly. And we go in the corner shop, and she buys like a bottle like this big or so of vodka, because that's her preference, and I got Hennessy, which I don't have a preference in alcohol, but that's just what I got. And whew, when I say in the 15 minutes we were just walking from bar to bar, or clubs or whatever it is over there, she downed the entire bottle of vodka, and I was just still like this much sipped of mine, because I don't drink. It's just not really, I don't just drink hard liquor. There was no chaser, so I was like, what is this? And I think we had reached the club, and they're like, oh, you need to drink that, you can't bring that in here. I'm just like, I can't do this. That's really fast, it's really strong, I'm gonna throw it up, there's just no way. And after finishing her little mini bottle of straight liquor, she drinks my Hennessy, because again, we're gonna have to throw it away. I was like, this is where the night's going. We then eventually get into the club, and I think that when we weren't really feeling it, we tried it out, it was dead. We went to another one. At that time, we are like in there, we're listening to the music, and then I think we go to like the basement. There's a bar on that floor, there's a bar on the floor above that. And I didn't realize how drunk she was at this point, but she was handling it for the time being. And then I think she like goes up to the front, she's like, I want a shot, do you want anything? I was like, no, because her birthday was the following day. And I was like, no, it's cool. And she orders herself like a shot, and I think because she gave like her ID to them, they saw it was her birthday like the next day or something, so I think they gave her another one, so she had like a double shot. So she not only finished a bottle by herself of vodka, a bottle of Hennessy by herself, and she now has a double shot of vodka. So at that point, I don't really know where all this alcohol is going. She's a relatively smaller girl, so it is probably hitting her, but she's not showing it. And I remember it was like midnight, and I'm like, oh my god, your birthday, and they're singing like birthday songs, and she was feeling herself to the max, as she should. It was her birthday. And at that point, homegirl was sloshed, dancing. I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on, let me take care of her. I don't know where I'm at, but this is insane. And I remember she got another shot, and I'm like, hey girl, maybe we should shut it down. This is like a lot. Maybe like we have to get home at some point. And I think at that point she like incoherently is like, I need to go upstairs. So I'm like, whew, okay, let's go upstairs, girl, let's go upstairs. We go upstairs and we sit on the couch and we're chilling. And at this point, she is gone. Because again, this is after 2 bottles of straight liquor, endless shots that I can like barely recall. She is just slumped on the couch, like, but awake. And I'm like, girl, you good? And she's just like, looks at me angrily. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. This is a lot. And I think she like fell asleep there. And I'm like, yeah, this is what the night's going. And I remember like the girls next to me are like, is she good? I'm like, yeah, it's her birthday. And they're like, bless you, or like, bless her, because like, yikes. And I'm like, yeah, we're supposed to go back to this neighborhood again. I don't remember the neighborhood's called. And they were just like, you have to go all the way back there. And I'm like, was it that far? I don't really remember. Like, she Ubered us and then we took a tube. Like, I don't know in like maps, I don't know how far we were. And I'm like, dang it, like, is it that far away? But I'm like, yeah, that's where we are. The girl's knocked out next to me. At this point, I think I'm like texting my family friends like, hey, do you think you could pick me up? My friend passed out. I don't know where I am, but it's just like, it's really late and she's like not really herself right now, so I can't even get back home. Work, because I was staying with her. Didn't answer again. It was super late, probably like 2, 3 a.m. or something. I don't know. I know I'm like roughly estimating the time, but it was getting increasingly later. And they don't answer. I was like, okay, they're sleeping. And then all I remember is this security guard grabbed my friend, yanked her up, and then I'm looking like, what the heck's happening? And like dragging her out. And I just see throw up all over her jacket, all over the seat. And I'm like, oh, okay, I was looking away for like a minute. Because I was just sitting there. I didn't leave. I was not going to leave her. I was looking away for like a minute, like just observing. And I missed her throw up on herself and the seat and everywhere. And I'm like, what in the actual F just happened? So we get kicked out of the club because she's thrown up on herself. That's like a party foul at clubs. She's fully woken up at this point because not only is she throwing up, we're getting thrown out of the club. It's December in London, so freezing, very, very cold. And I'm like, homegirl, like, it's time to go home. Like, you are very sloshed. When she like looks at me and like starts like fast walking, super, super fast. And I'm like, where are we going? And I think I vaguely remembered how to get back to the tube, but I didn't know how to get back after the tube. So we walk all the way back to the tube somehow, because somehow that's the only thing I remember. We get to the tube and you need like the tap card, like, you know, like BART or any city or whatever, like a card of some sort to get in. And we get to it and I'm like, I don't even want to tap the card yet because I don't know how to get home. So what's the point of me tapping in if we're going to get lost? I don't know what trains to take. I don't know what your stop is. Like, because bear in mind, we Ubered to that first location and then took the tube from there. So we never actually tubed to her place. So I'm like lost for words. And I look over, homegirl has collapsed on the floor and it's like brick floor. And I'm like, I am never getting home. This is just happening. Like, my phone's going to die. We're going to die out here. Yeah, it was a lot. I was so scared. By the way, I had no job, so I only had the money of my sister, who graciously gave me her debit card at the time, and my mom's card. And I literally, less than 12 hours in London. I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on a taxi, but I was like, I'm gonna have to. So I remember calling my sister saying, hey, I've been looking at Ubers, and an Uber back to her house is $70. I will get the money back to you somehow. I'm so sorry. I just was not prepared to spend this much money. Can you wire me $70 for this Uber? And my sister is just like, did you just get there? I'm so confused. I don't have time to explain right now. It is so-and-so in the morning. Homegirl's passed out. I don't know how to get home other than this. And she wires it to me, and there's like a whole exchange rate too from USD to pound. I don't know how far we were, but we did spend about like 50 minutes in this Uber. It was like an hour. I like holster into the Uber and I'm like, please do not throw up for the life of me. You've already thrown up in the club, right now outside this tube on the floor, because again, she's passed out on the floor. And I sound like a terrible friend because I let that happen, but she also drinks a lot, and whenever she's drinking, she will not let you stop her. And again, I am not much of a drinker, so some people just don't listen to me when I'm telling them like, hey, maybe we should stop, because they're like, you're a party pooper, you don't drink, shut up. And I'm like, okay. So we're in the Uber, and I remember she like woke up, like stirred up halfway through the drive, and she's like, where am I? What's going on? I was like, girl, just please. Like, I don't actually know how far, but I was like, we're almost home. Like, just stay. And I think she like tries to open the door, and I'm like, this Uber's gonna kick us out after I've already paid about $90. This is not happening. And eventually she like puts her head back down on the door and like falls asleep. We pull up to her house, and she just looks so disoriented, like, what the actual F, like, where are we, what is going on? But again, obviously very drunk still. And yanks the door open, gets the key, because she has the key in her purse, unlocks the door, and like just goes upstairs. And I'm like, you know what? We made it home. Didn't think we were going to, but we made it home. The next morning, homegirl wakes up, opens the door I'm in unwarranted, because we're that close. And like, how did we get home? What happened last night? How did I get home? And also, why is my arm broken? It wasn't broken, by the way, because she fell on her arm. Remember, she fell on the ground. I'm like, you fell multiple times. Even though I tried picking you up, she was like, why are we home? I actually wanted to come home in an ambulance. Where's the emergency room? I wanted to be, and I'm like, you wanted to come home in an ambulance? I paid $90. My sister. I paid $90 for us to get home, and you're getting mad about how we arrived. You need to sit your butt down, go back to sleep, and let's restart. And that was the first night. Yeah. Made it out alive. We were still friends, and the rest of the trip was pretty much smooth sailing after that, because I was like navigating between her and my family friend and her staying with me. We did a lot of other things, but yeah, like an ambulance. That's how she wanted to come home. Whatever. But that's the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want me to continue doing story times, let me know. If you like this, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and yeah, see y'all later. Bye!